This is it.
It's official. How's it look?
It looks like a mailbox.
Look at that tree.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We got a lot of widowmakers.
That's alive at the top. Storm took that down. Look at that. Wow.
The top of it's down. Be careful walking under it.
All right, so what do we have to say about this land? We finally got it. It took us, how many years did we look at land? 15 years?
How old's our son?
16, so we've been looking for about 15 years. We took a ride to go visit family and checked one place along the road, and that turned out to be the one.
Now we're coming into the pine area. It's really pretty right here.
So we bought it, and this was our first time on it as landowners.
All this is yours.
We're custodians, though. It's one small part of nature we can preserve. It's just so nobody else can chop any trees down or do anything silly.
Wow, it's like 5 degrees cooler here
Yep.
than it was back there.
The two little like pine areas. I mean, it's all mixed woods, but this is like, there are these little pine areas, like enclaves of pine. They're really pretty.
This would be the best place to be in the summertime.
Yep.
Down in here. This is where my hammock's gonna be.
You stopped at the store immediately to buy a mailbox because we got an address.
You have an address, you have to have a mailbox.
You get to watch the view change during the seasons. You won't have as much distance, but there'll be more stuff in the foreground.
You have to learn it now in all 4 seasons.
Yep.
We have to learn it in spring and summer and fall and winter because it's gonna change.
Yep. Know where the water goes.
Right. Through your campsite.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm betting the water comes down here.
Yeah, you think?
So all the work that needed
All the
to be
work
done.
that needed to be done, all the trees that were down and things that needed to be done, yeah. The water running off onto the road that, probably need more gravel in that area.
The electric that we thought we could use and then realized we couldn't.
There was, actually that first time we got there, there was a tree like leaning on the line to the road that was like hanging down. It was only, you could almost touch it. It was only 8 feet off the road and it was being threatened by this tree. So we called. It took them weeks to get to it, but they did actually get to it. But when we realized that the line was so low, we knew that we had to do something. We were going to have to redo the electric. You said not too tight or tight now?
Not too tight.
Not too tight?
Is it holding the pipe tight?
Yeah, it's holding the pipe. Okay.
When you're afraid of heights and your lovely wife isn't, she goes,
Is that good?
yep, she goes up the electrical pole. That's it. You're done.
Okay. So we started building and making things square turned out to be a lot harder than it looked. We actually made it look easier in the video, but
Yeah, it looked like we did get it right on the first try in the video.
yeah, well, those were good moments. But
Yeah.
in between were 2 hours of hell.
That was definitely harder. It was also really cold.
We were trying to rush to get something built so we could spend the winter there and not be camping in the freezing cold. And
So we just ended up working
So we ended
in
up
freezing
working in the
cold.
freezing cold, which was interesting. And you can't really tell unless you're in it that our hands were numb. My feet were numb the whole time. I couldn't feel my toes.
That's one.
These are the times I wish I had a truck, right?
Yep. We were just saying that.
We put the 4x4 posts on top of those piers.
We didn't even have power tools, so we had.
Well, it
No,
took
so I'm using-
45 days for them to turn the electric
Yes.
on after we'd finished it and to get it
right.
inspected.
It was getting colder and colder, and when we were digging those holes, The ground was already almost frozen. It took us a long time to dig holes.
But that's why we had to use the buckets, because we didn't think the concrete would set.
The concrete wouldn't set, right? So we had to. There were a lot of weird decisions that we made and kind of things that we had to work with.
Yay!
Yeah, but
3 saws.
Well,
It was the end of fall when we got up there.
It's one thing to work in the cold. It's another thing to work in the cold and then try and camp out.
And not shower.
And then wake up the next morning stiff and tired and cold and then work in the cold.
Yeah, we were pulling 9-hour days of.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that again.
Well, and that one thing that we built, just that base, was like 3 trips.
Well, yeah, because we didn't have any electricity.
We didn't have any
doing it all
electricity.
by hand.
Okay, let's see.
Ta-da!
You gotta be kidding me.
You want to check the other
That's
side?
crazy. It doesn't look, hold on, leave it. It looks like it's pointed up because of the slope. I mean, it's really weird looking, but it says it's level. It looks really strange.
You want to
Crazy.
check the other side?
Yeah. Watch the. I don't want to look.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Hey. Woo.
Now don't get too excited. We got to check square.
Are you ready to check square? Okay.
Outside corner.
Outside corner. How much?
15.9 1/4.
15.9 1/4. Okay. All right, I got it.
15.6.
What?
15.9 1/4.
Oh, you suck! 15.9 1/4.
Perfect.
Yeah! That's crazy. Holy moly. We're making a house. Well, not a house. We're making a shed, a workshop / little bunkie to sleep in when it's snowing and freezing cold so we can build our real off-grid.
How crazy. It looks like you're going up a ski slope.
It totally does. It's crazy. Put the board on. I'm going to tightrope across it to see what it feels like. See if it feels like I'm walking uphill or if it feels like it's right.
So are you walking uphill?
I mean, it looks to me like I'm walking uphill. It looks like it. It feels a little like I'm walking uphill.
Well,
but,
because the board bent in the middle.
I mean, it doesn't feel too bad.
It's crazy that it looks, even on camera, it looks like a slope.
But the level, unless our level's really broken.
Levels don't lie.
So it's a short video, but it's like 3 trips back and forth.
Hopefully. The framing, the roof, the siding.
It's starting to look like something now.
The windows.
The windows,
The doors,
the
the
metal,
locks,
the metal roof.
Will what be easier?
Well, hopefully we learned a little bit from what we did.
Yeah.
I will say,
It's not like renovating a house. It's completely different. Yeah.
I will say, even though we really do want to be off grid and we're not interested in power and everything we do on the land, aside from this little workshop thing,
I know
is
what you're
really
gonna
going to
say.
be without power.
It was nice to have electric.
It's really nice to have.
We will not
electric.
have electric at the top of the hill where we want to go off grid, but it will be nice to have a workshop at the bottom of the hill with electric where we can do some things. Even though we want to live off grid and use minimal electric, the fact that we have it for emergencies and for building is nice, and then hopefully we'll barely use it at all.
Yeah, we made a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah, we made a bunch of mistakes.
Like, we put it together and then realized that
It wasn't pressure treated.
So everybody should know this. We didn't want to use pressure treated lumber, so we wanted to show Shugi Bun everything. But
So we took it apart.
But we
and
were so excited to build the thing.
We built it.
That we put it up and then realized we didn't shush it, so we took it all apart.
Took it apart, took it down to the driveway on the gravel and burned it and then put it back together again.
You know, I didn't really overlap the corners the way you're supposed to. But it's a 10 by 10 shed, so it's not going to make that big a difference. But
Right,
just the
but
little
there's just
things
little
that you're
things
not
like-
thinking of.
That you don't have the right equipment and there's no electricity and you're freezing cold and it changes the whole paradigm. You're not doing everything perfectly. Mm-hmm. So, and we have more work to do. But it's, you know, the whole point is that it really is the journey. I catch myself thinking, you know, oh, I just want to get this done. We want to get this built. And then I stop myself and I go, this is the fun. This is the point. Like, ooh, we got a platform down and we get to come up and do it again. And we're outside and we're on our land and we're breathing fresh air and we're watching animals and birds. And it's so much nicer than being inside in front of a computer. And that's fantastic. Like, we're just going to make stuff and be outside. And it's ours.
And it's going to be warmer.
I'm freezing.
Let's go.